You should change your strings every 3 months or when they just start to feel like the tone isn't there anymore, because they can get dirty, your sound won't be as good, and they become a lot more frail. You don't want a string snapping. You can change your strings by hand, but it makes it a lot easier if you have cutters and a string winder. When you're changing the strings on an electric guitar, you'll go ahead and grab the string and begin to loosen it. To make sure that you're loosening it, give it a pluck, and if the tone is getting deeper or lower, you're going the right way. Continue to do this. You'll notice that the string begins to unwind from the tuning peg. And when it begins to get there, it's all right if you want to just string it around, no pun intended, and take it right off. Let's go ahead and do the high E string now, which you'll want to wind the other way in order to get it loose. This way the tension on the neck stays balanced and you won't have to set up your guitar again. Once you do that high E string, go back to the next lowest string, the A, and begin to wind the tuning peg toward you. Then we'll go back up to the B string, which is the next highest in the guitar, and wind the tuning peg away from you. And then we'll do the D string, winding the tuner toward you in order to loosen it. And again, feel free to place your hand or fingers underneath the string in order to bring it up. There it is. And finally, let's do the G string. Winding this away. Once the strings are off the tuners and hanging toward the bridge, underneath the guitar, push the string through the bottom, and it'll be coming out the other side. And then you can just pull that through. Going to the high E string, you can begin to push that through where it comes out on the bottom. And once you have it there, you can either pull it through or you can take a clipper and clip it right there. That way, you have a piece that came through there. You can just pull the rest through the top of the guitar. Once the strings are off, it's always a good idea to clean your guitar, especially the fingerboard where a lot of oil and grime ends up. You'll want to take guitar polish and cleaner, which you can find at most music stores, and spray it onto a cloth or a rag. Then go through and make sure to polish each individual fret. Make sure that you also clean off the frets themselves. And while you're at it, it's always a good idea to clean off your headstock. Make sure you clean off the tuning pegs too. When stringing your electric guitar, you can start with the 6th string, also known as the low E string. Unwind it from its circular packaging, and then you'll take the plain end of it, and underneath the guitar, put it through the hole where you took out the old strings. Once it's through there, it'll come out through the top. You can grab it and pull it through. Once it's through all the way, you'll hear a sound indicating that the ball has hit the end of it. Once it's through, thread it through the tuner and make sure that it's lined up with the space between the headstock and the fingerboard. There's small indentations for each string. Along with that, on the bridge, there will be a small indentation where you'll want to line the string up there too. And again, once it's through, make a slight bend, and then you can begin to wind the string away from you so that it goes toward the middle of the headstock. Once you feel it's secure enough, pull up on the string just slightly, and as you tune it, this will help the string stretch and reduce the chance of it breaking. Once you have the low E string tightened, go ahead and find the first string, or the high E string. Just like with the other one, you're going to thread this through the bottom of the guitar, through the bridge, and up along the front of the body. First, you'll take this end of the string, the one without the ball, and put it through the corresponding hole through the bridge underneath the guitar. After you've put on the low E string, take the high E string, which is the highest string on the guitar, and struggle, and bring it through the peg. Make a slight bend, and then begin winding the tuner toward you so that the string begins to tighten while moving toward the middle of the headstock. And once you feel it securely in place, go ahead and put your fingers underneath the string, or at least a finger, in order to allow the string to stretch as you tighten it. This helps prevent it from breaking later. Then you'll go back to the lower strings and take the A string, string 2, and thread it through the tuner. Make a slight bend at the end, and then begin to wind it so that the string moves toward the middle, or away from your body. Once you feel that securely in place, bring your finger underneath the string to let it stretch, and continue to wind it. Now, the B string. Once all of your strings are tightened down to the guitar, you'll take a pair of clippers and close to the end of the string, but not at the very end, clip it right off.